Hello, Solana friends. This is the first episode of Solana Gang Meeting. I am AntAlm, the community manager for the most underrated project in Solana, Solana Bear Gang. We will start using this platform to do a live update on the project and random stuff. I'm here with Barlow, the co-founder and the father of the Solana Bear Gang. Grillo, the other co-founder, is the mother of the Solana Bear Gang. He's not here right now, but maybe in the future. We just have to bring beers and he will be here for sure. Well, let's start with the update on the project. Been working on a game platform called Rumble Racers. Can you tell me how it's going, the development?
Yeah, sure. So we're currently on an alpha for a bit too long now. I know you've been impatient about it. The alpha is very important for us. We've catched a lot of bugs and features we wanted to introduce. And right now we actually have a working product. Anyone could play it. We could release it on mainnet and it would be a playable gambling racing game. But we're missing two things actually, or two things that can elevate the game to probably success and make it different from other games out there. We're missing integration with sponsors, or what we call in internal meetings claim portals. So basically, it's actually a bit tricky, but it's a split on earnings from the platform with other projects, and to put this in a way that it's independent and people freely can go to that portal and claim the Solana they are due to the having players from that project playing the game. That is still missing, and I think we have all the technology to implement it. I think Grillo, the mother of Solana Bear Gang, wishes to push it a bit further, or a bit cautious on safety and put it with some fail safes. So it's being a bit slower on that implementation. That's one part that's missing, and the second part that it's missing, at least on my view as a project manager and founder, is to put an additional layer of prizes that we've talked about it in the past, but for our listeners, we want to give additional rewards to the winners of the races. So this will actually eat from our own little revenue we have from the fees on the game, and give extra prizes in a particular way. I'm not actually going to talk about how it's going to be done, but players that continue playing, that earn any type of game, will have the chance to win additional prizes and keep on playing. That's what we want, and we think that will be the cherry on top of the cake to have Rumble Racers have a shot in competing with other platforms out there.
Can we unveil the partnerships that we will start to do when launching the game a little bit?
You tell me. You're the community manager and you're running the collaborations or sponsorships for Rumble Racers when it's out.
Yeah, so we thought a little bit about this at the start, and we are trying to make this as a platform. So it's not entirely close to the Solana Bear Gang projects. It can't be attached to any other project that want to collab with us. So the future we see to the Rumble Racers is to have multiple projects with a customized front end to the game. So their holders or fans or whatever can play the same game as everyone, as any other project or Solana Bear Gang, but the front end will be with their project image. I think this is really, really cool, and I can't wait to see how it will end. And there will be a shared revenue for those projects as well, right?
Yeah, and I think you explained it in your own way. That each project will see their own image or backgrounds. They have uh, yeah, the aesthetics they have on their own project while playing the game, but they'll be running against everyone else. And yes, the projects that do collaborate with Rumble Racers will earn a small share, or actually it's a big share from the fee, but the fee is small So it actually depends the
on the
bigger,
volume.
not the bigger, but yeah, it's the volume. So if they can have 10 people, but if they are high gamblers, they'll earn a bit of revenue. And I think that will help most projects, even the smaller ones that have trouble finding.
In
Um,
my point of view, this will be really good for small projects because it will be another platform that they can show almost as their own and give to their holders.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it will have their. We're planning to have their own subdomain, so they are actually identified by their subdomain on the Rumble Racers platform. And yes, it will be. I think it will be seen as a own project added utility,
Yeah.
not as an outside platform, but something from the community to the community.
Do you have
Yeah, let's see.
any other reference you want to make about the Rumble Racers
No, no, not on this episode. Maybe we'll save something for
for
the
the next
next
one?
episodes.
Okay, okay. And what
Yeah.
about the Solana Bear Gang in general?
Well, I don't know what you want to talk about, Solana Bear Gang. We're diverting a focus to develop something. We have lots of plans for Solana Bear Gang. They all take time to make, and we want to revamp almost everything from Solana Bear Gang, even from missions to the bears themselves, the rarity elements, the traits. We have not plans but drafts to improve it, but we have one developer, and with a small budget, we have to wait to have the time to put those things in place. We have a small community. If it was bigger, we would have to make adjustments more or more adjustments quicker. But we have a small community, a small budget, so it takes time.
Yeah,
And now
yeah.
we're developing Rumble Racers. I know you wanted a lot of things for SBG, and you have ideas and you always bring them to the table, but they get noted. We talk about it.
I get
Most of the
crucified
things,
sometimes.
sometimes you get crucified, but not always.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
I know, I know.
it's
I'm joking.
but someone has to dream,
Hmm.
and you're a dreamer. So, and from the dreams, actually, after a bit of talk, and when you come down to earth, maybe it's not the dream you had thought of,
Hmm.
but it's something similar. And Rumble Racers is one of those.
Yeah,
You had 2 or 3 dreams that came together in Rumble Racers with some input from the rest of the gang.
yeah. But with the subject of the development and everything, and closing the SVG chapter for this episode, one subject I keep thinking about, and that's because I'm community manager. I have to think about this, but I would like to hear a little bit from you. Managing expectations for the holders and the newcomers and everything, it's really hard, especially when you developing something and it takes more time than you expected. I see this happen in a lot of projects, a lot of communities. What do you think about this as a project manager and as a holder of any other project?
Yeah. So that's actually a hard question that it could be a whole meeting
Yeah,
just
yeah.
talking
Just
about.
a little nuggets
Uh,
on the subjects.
yeah. Okay. So Solana Bear Gang has the same, is passing through the same bear market as any other project, and all the projects have delays. And it's people in this space don't understand why things are delayed or how much time it takes to make anything, even from a small post with an image or a meme, or everything takes time, and people forget that most of the people, at least that work in this space, except from large projects like DGods or Soul Casino or Mad Lads, they have budgets with people that are working every day on the project, and they have time to develop, and even so they miss target. And you know this, if you follow DGods, you know that they miss reveals, mint dates, migrations, even making a poster. They have stuff that doesn't quite work as they want. These things happen, and they affect all of the communities everywhere. The issue here is, and Solana Bear Gang doesn't have this. we don't get hate. People, or at least most of the people on the NFT space on Solana, at least, are more passive. I remember 1 year ago, everyone was on the rage. Everyone wanted everything now: staking, missions, token. I want to sell my tokens. I want to flip my NFT. And now it's a bit calmer. And since Solana Bear Gang is a small community, we don't have actually hate. We just have people that go mute or just don't speak, and it's actually harder to have people speaking on Discord and be interested in something when we don't have anything out, at least something significant. And they feel that, and they lost a bit of interest. But that happens everywhere. And if you see the other projects, I know you had, and we can talk a bit about projects next, you see people complaining and shoving on founders' faces and moderators' faces that things are not done and things are missing,
It's always
and this is yeah. And the later you deploy it, because if it's art or something else, the later we deploy it, the bigger is the expectation.
yeah, yeah,
And usually people, the expectation doesn't match the reality, that someone took 4 months to draw bodies or whatever for the project, and it took him hours and hours to make it, and someone doesn't like it, or generally they don't like it, and they're trashed to the ground. And we actually have some luck there. It actually something good from having a small community. We're not very exposed to hype guys. We don't have hyping people on the community. We don't have people looking to buy a bear and flip it tomorrow. It doesn't happen. And so we have a core community. I want to develop, and I want to make more stuff quicker for the community. But if you want to do so, we need more hands, and it's actually hard to have people motivated to work for almost no gain or
yeah.
a little gain.
Let's move to the next subject. Did you bring a project? You want to talk about it?
Yes, of course. Should I talk
Oh
about
yeah,
mine
yeah,
or you
sure.
go first?
Go on, go on.
Okay. One of my I don't know how you call it, but one of the projects that I follow for at least a year now, so it's one of the older projects I follow. It's Meerkat Millionaire Country Club, MMCC. I've followed them. I think they minted in 2021. They're an OG project, and they're the first project that distributed 100% of royalties back to its users. It was really a revolution back then. It was something unheard of. And they went really high in listing volume and price. And I don't know. Now they're like 2 SOL or something, 1 SOL, 2 SOL. They've been really low, and they've been through a lot of issues. They had movement from a core founders, then to a DAO, then from that DAO, someone from the community took over, then someone from the community took the money they had on the vault and left the project again to a founder. And it's like a soap opera you're watching, and you see people struggling. You see a lot of animated gifs and 1, 2, 3 sentences, but you see that the founder is actually trying to build things, and is actually trying to put something out, and he suffers. You just talked about having expectations and not meeting them. Well, meerkats are the kings of those. They have like 3 roadmaps, and none of those roadmaps were met. They have 3 tools to come out: Magnum and KWS Capital, and what ordinal mint gumball machine that was going to come out with multiple projects. And ordinals, they just faded out. They had a cool candy machine for it. You would pay in Sol and you would get something on Bitcoin. And they promised something. They tried to do something, but it didn't work as they wanted. So they're still trying to come out of the mud, and now they actually had an idea. But I like following them because they have ideas, and it's actually important. I think it's important for a founder on this space to actually buy other NFTs from other projects and watch those projects see what they are doing and see the ideas and the struggles that those projects are, so you can avoid them, or if you like something you can pull it and make an adaptation for your own project, and or build it, or just try to use a tool on your community because you like it. And we've done this in the past, and
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is something that I like.
yeah.
and
I share that
and
opinion.
actually just okay, but yeah, it's something I think it's usual. People don't stick with one community, they try to broaden their horizons and go to other communities and see what's out there, and usually they are vocal about it. Hey, these guys have staking, you don't have it, so how about you could put something like that? Or some projects have liquidity pools. We talked about it. We've seen it. It's not good for a project to have a liquidity pool. It's hard to maintain a token price if you have a liquidity pool. But in regards still to the Meerkats, they're currently coming back from the shadows, I would say. Timon, he's the leader, the current leader for the Meerkats. Is actually doing something that it's different, and I haven't seen another project do it. They Any Meerkat holder that puts their Meerkats at for sale on Tensor or Magic Eden, I don't know if you can put it on other marketplaces, exactly for 420 42069 Sol.
Hmm.
So it's 42,069 Sol, and you list it for that price for sale, and you get some Sol every Monday because you listed your Meerkats. So you're not actually staking on a platform, you're putting them for sale at a ridiculous price, and they are giving back some of the royalties they earned along the months or years, and they're giving back a part of it to the community.
Okay, that is
I think
quite
that's cool.
different.
It's different.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
usually you want listings lower listings, so don't have many NFTs on the market. Just have the lower the better, so it's less supply,
Hmm.
more demand. And they're going the other way. They're putting a lot of Meerkats at a ridiculous high price, and they're rewarding people that do it. I think that's different.
Yeah, that's quite cool, actually.
And you, what's the project you're bringing today to talk
Yeah,
about?
I'm following SoDead for a month now. I've heard them from the past. It was one of the top projects. I don't know, 6, 7, or 8 months ago. The floor price back then, I think it was 20 or something like that. But as all the projects, they took a hit, and right now the floor price sits at 1.5 sol, around that. I got one accidentally because I was doing loans on Sharkify, and one of my loans got defaulted and was a SoDead. So I thought to myself, I'm not selling this for a loss. I'm just want to see what they are doing, and was actually surprised because they were rugged 2 times in a year, and now they are the team is a number of holders. So it is a community-run project, more or less, and they have built a lot of cool things. They have a hunting platform that you can send the vamps for a 7 days hunt and receive keys according to the NFT you have. They only have one collection, but they are adding NFTs. So you have OG vamps, now you have lady vamps, and you have purified OGs and purified lady vamps, and among others. And the rewards depends on the what kind of NFT you send. It is really similar to our missions, but in my personal opinion, not as fun. Our missions are way funnier than the SoDead hunt, but they are trying to create a little bit of hype, sharing the royalties, like Meerkats you were talking about, with the holders putting Sol and NFTs on the loot box that you can open with the keys you found on the hunting. But the problem is, I think they are doing the correct thing. The idea is correct, in my opinion, But the thing is, I don't think it will bring new holders for long, just because the whales empty the loot boxes in 4 hours after they refill it. So they are refilling the loot box every 7 days, every Tuesday, I think, if I'm correct. And 4 hours later, the whales took it all, and you just left with Vamp, which is the token. They have a customization platform too for the NFTs. So you have SoDead with a lot of traits, and you can buy glasses or whatever they're releasing every week. I think the general idea is really cool, but it could be better in my opinion. Because the hunting, all the hunting have 7 days duration, so it could change. You could have multiple different missions, or not missions, sorry, hunts for the specific NFTs, and they could change the prizes and all. But yeah, right now I think they're trying their best to keep the community alive and bring new holders. I'm one of them, so I now hold four SoDead. So I got one by a default loan, and I just bought three more to check it out and try to see what happens. And that's it. They have other things like rate to earn, flex to earn, all the other new cool things you see in old projects. And yeah, that's all. Do you know a SoDead? Have you ever had a
I've
SoDead NFT?
No, I've heard about them. I've seen some PFPs back in the day. Probably they were when they were more
Yeah.
popular. I didn't know they had the female version out, but seems I'm glad they made it. It's one of the things that I think all projects should do, even Solana Bear Gang. But
Hmm.
it's hard to make at least with pixel art, it's harder to make a female version or a more female version or a clear female version of a NFT. But from what you said, I have a question. Do you have a suggestion how you said that the whales farm the keys, and then when they reload the chests, the whales can open all the good
Yeah, yeah.
chests before probably you can get it. Maybe you can open one or two chests. What could they do? Because you have anyway you see this on a lot of projects. The whales have more of
Hmm.
everything,
Hmm.
and if you limit what the whale can earn, you're actually hurting the whale, and the whale is your biggest
Yes,
supporter.
yes, yes. So it is okay that the whales have an advantage. It is normal. They invested more or not. It doesn't matter. They have more NFTs, so they have a bigger chance of getting the good prices. The thing is, for me, I think their vision is to get a bigger community and a bigger number of holders. And this way, I think people, when see the project, get hyped, but then they see, okay, I have to spend like, I don't know, 6, 7, or 8 Sol to send the vamps on the missions and open one loot box. And at the end of the day, you think, okay, this is hard. I only can open one loot box, and the whales are sweeping all the prizes from the chest. I don't know. I
I
think
see.
the vision is
I see.
correct. So I think they're doing this to try to bring more users. But I think if they get just a quick exercise. They get 10 new orders. I think they will stick with one at the end of 1 month or so, because they'll see it is almost impossible to get a really good price. I don't know, but the market, their market is moving. I think it's really great. The lady vamps are really cool. They try to push it a little bit further, because to compare it, the OG vamp, the male version vamp, only gets 2 keys from the 7 day hunt. The lady vamp gets three. So having a lady vamp is way better than have a male version of that. And if you purify it, so you spend uh, 9666 vamp to purify any NFT. The OG gets four, the double, and Lady Vamp gets six. So with two lady vamps, you can have open a one legendary loot box and keep two keys for the next week. But yeah,
See?
it's that.
Well, I can say
Yeah,
something
yeah,
if you just actually to I think we should probably getting close
yeah,
to
yeah. It's almost a
close
wrap.
this.
Yeah.
If you get on Solana Bear Gang, you can buy from common to mythic rarity on the bears, and if you actually get a rare bear and I don't know how much they are, 2 soul maybe, I don't know how, or rare bear maybe it's less, 1 soul. If you get 1 or 2 rare bears, you can run all the
Hmm.
missions as successfully as anyone else. And if you get a den, if you accumulate the berries and get the den, then you can actually propel quickly your own team to get all the treasure chests and compete with everyone else. But our chests are unlimited, so I think that's a way to put it.
Hmm.
I think so that they don't expand all the keys, so they have too many keys. And actually on Solana Bear Gang, we hit it this way. You can only open a certain amount of chests. They take time to open. And you have teams of bears you send, and I don't know how SoDead could tackle that thing you're talking about. That I don't know why the last chest or the chests opened after the whales opened theirs, they are worse, but they shouldn't be. Or maybe they have to make some system that maybe people with 1, 2, 3 NFTs also have a
Hmm.
chance.
Yeah, yeah, for
I,
sure.
I,
I think they will
I think
see.
you're
I
passing
think
it.
they will get there, in my opinion.
Okay.
Because they will see that wells are taking it all, and they're not getting new holders to stay for long. That's my opinion. I don't want to be negative because I just bought three plus the one I got defaulted on Sharkify. So I'm here.
Yeah, you're a
I'm a
supporter.
supporter. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
normal.
yeah,
We projects support others' projects, so that's what why I was talking about, and you just done that with
yeah,
SoDead.
yeah,
But I also have done the same with Meerkats, but instead of 4, I have
yeah.
25, so it's
You're a
actually
well. You take
I
it all.
I have a bag. No, I don't know, their whales go up to 100.
Okay, okay,
I think
okay.
something like that. So I'm middle fish.
Yeah. Okay, guys, let's wrap this up. See you next episode. Feel free to participate and ask to speak. We want turn this into a coffee talk, coffee and cigarettes almost talk.
Yeah, sounds cool.
Yeah.
See you next
Thank you,
time.
Barlow. Bye bye.